So, good evening, dear colleagues, and the President of the Commission here of UNESCO and our colleague from Paris. I will tell a few words about a new phenomenon in our society, namely the emergence of Wikipedia. Wikipedia is a part of a foundation which is called Wikimedia, and covers about 9 divisions or topics or themes. The major is Wikipedia, which is the encyclopedia. I will further on speak. But there are other topics treated now, and there is Wikibooks, which covers free textbooks and manuals. There's Wikiversity for free learning tools. There's Wiki Dictionary and Thesaurus. There is Wikicode and many others. So since its existence, it has grown very, very, very fast, and I will give some numbers afterwards. It is an encyclopedia. The encyclopedia for all. However, there is more. It is, I refer to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, in which is mentioned that everybody should have access to information. This topic has been discussed at the World Summit of the Information Society several times. And namely, there is missing something. It should be so that not only one has access to information, but also to be able and allowed to create information. This may seem very, very simple and trivial, however, it is not. And why it is not, and it gives to everybody of us, everybody of mankind, of humankind, a new dimension. And this probably explains the success of Wikipedia and its progress. Where to position an encyclopedia built up from the bottom upwards and not from experts downwards, restricted, accessible. It places Wikipedia and Wikimedia Foundations places itself actually in what is happening in our countries, in the emergence and the coming of the knowledge society. The knowledge society, we do all agree about it, although it is difficult to define, but I think that the more that our technological society is moving, the knowledge as such is following. And it is easier to explain that those who do not share knowledge will be left on the side. Now, when we as Western or Europeans or Westerns speak about knowledge, we think, of course, of European knowledge. However, I think there is a much larger definition in the sense that there is only one knowledge. It's the knowledge of humankind built through history of hundreds of centuries and thousands of years. There is one knowledge, and indigenous knowledge is also knowledge and has the same level of development as what we consider being the privilege of Western history or European history. A colleague, Professor Mircea Malița from Romania, he has written on this topic, and he speaks, making the jump to civilization and culture. There is only one civilization and 10,000 cultures. So, having pronounced that, Wikipedia Wikipedia represents also a dimension of a multicultural society and a multilingual society, or mankind of humankind. Today, there are more than 200 languages in the Encyclopedia for All, and there are more than 8 million definitions, entries described so far. Of course, the main language is English, though I apologize not to speak Spanish, but so English remaining today at least. Maybe it will change in 25 years and it could become Chinese, but today it's English. Then it comes with, I don't know exactly the numbers, they are available on the internet, but English is far away, far ahead. Comes German, French, and then Italian, Spanish. How does they come these numbers? All that is created by volunteers, people from the countries, from the area, and even from other cultures writing in English or in another language they have learned from their history. Now, so some practical considerations in the context of these seminars and video conferences. So I would, and also the organization encourages and has done also tonight by our colleague from UNESCO, is to encourage local languages, and Wikipedia is certainly a source for encouraging and stimulating that. Today, and this is a number from the United Nations, about 6,000 languages, spoken languages and written languages together, do exist on Earth somewhere. And this means that also there exist 6,000 cultures, I would say. Then a culture is expressed by the language, or the language represents that culture. And a culture, what does mean a culture? It is a world vision or societal vision, even when it is very small. It is also a set of values, of practices, of understanding, of communicating. So in our knowledge society, we too often consider that the technological language is the language, is the only one. And I'm afraid that it would be somewhat a wrong representation of reality. Now, the facility that is created by the Wikipedia, and I should stress, it has been set up by volunteers worldwide. Everybody can write, even wrong things, but this is a question and a concern of the organizers. It is based on open source software, which is quite important, that nothing is privatized. It is, and it becomes a common good, a public good, as I think, and many others, any culture is by definition a common good. So Wikipedia, in its fast evolution, has a future of some way of looking in a new way on or restoring what has been known, at least in Europe, for many times, and certainly from the beginning of the 19th century on, as being what is common and what is not common, in opposition to what is private and belonging to so on.